Can we develop commercially viable ways to store surplus electricity generated in non-peak use times, like big batteries?
Yeah, so I mean, we already have big batteries being developed. It's very difficult to actually commercially develop in the country at the moment because there aren't the long-term price investment signals right now existing. And it's one of the big debates is the marketplace that was developed for particularly electricity in the UK was developed for fossil fuels.
Yeah.
So it was really developed to deal with large gas power stations and large coal power stations who all have a fuel cost.
Yeah.
Now, renewables have no fuel cost. So the dispatchability of them means that you'll always want to generate with them because the big cost is the upfront investment cost, not the running cost. And so battery is an interesting sort of intersection in there. Is to get batteries built, you have to give people long-term price signals again because they're expensive technology, but then you run them pretty much for free going forwards.
Yeah.
So that is the big debate at the moment, is how do we create a future marketplace that is fit for this new low-carbon world?
Looking ahead, I mean, electric vehicles are being now, we're becoming on stream more and more as time goes on. I think the Germans have basically banned the internal combustion engine from, is it 2030 or?
Yeah, and we have here as well, 2035.
Yeah. How can we organise sort of electric vehicle charging at non-peak times? Is there an easy way we can move it? Because it seems to me that people are quite reluctant to shift towards electric cars. And I think one of the issues might be how you get them charged. Will they last you to the length of the journey? They're very expensive. Do the batteries need replacing? Are you involved in any way in Good Energy with moving that forward? Do you have sort of charging points and things like that?
So we invested in something called ZapMap, which is probably the premier mapping service for EVs in the UK. So if you want to do a journey in an EV, you take ZapMap, the app, and it will tell you where all the charging points are and what you can how you charge at them. And I think that whole range anxiety piece, being able to have confidence about where you go and where you can charge is a key point.
Yeah.
It's a key consumer behaviour change that we need to support. I think in terms of the growth of electric vehicles, I think also the biggest challenge was there were not enough ranges across the different types of vehicles. So you had Tesla come in with some really high-end technology, but you had very little and you had the Leaf at the other side, but you had very little in the middle.
Yeah.
And what we're seeing now is new car manufacturers coming out with new models all the time. And so there is now going to be a model that suits everybody. So I think you're beginning to solve that consumer problem. The range problem now, we have more charging points in the UK than we have petrol stations. So we're beginning to get through that.
Is that right?
Yes. I mean, they're charging points, so they're not the same as a petrol station.
No, but even so.
Yeah, so we have significant charging points, and the rapids are now beginning to be rolled out significantly. There's a lot of government support to roll that out and make sure that gets rolled out across the UK. And we've got to sort things like interoperability. So can you pay the same way for all the different charging points so it's easy for people to use?
Yeah.
And then can you charge at home, and does that become easy to use as well? So I think all these things are beginning to move. They always will. You'll get your early adopters who are quite happy to deal with the fact it's a bit difficult.
Yeah.
And then you need to make it easy for consumers to come in.
Yeah, okay. So your philosophy is other than other than providing electricity, it's also enabling people to access it.
Yes.
If people have determined that they don't want to go down the route themselves of subscribing to Good Energy or one of your competitors in that field, or they don't want to buy an electric car, they always come up with these kind of excuses that and that it costs, the main cost of running a car is actually in the manufacture, and that actually uses up a lot of the, it's more of a carbon footprint in making it. But it strikes me that isn't the way forward. We've got to look towards how we use our power. Yeah. And accept to some extent. I don't know whether you accept to this extent. To some extent, we are going to have a carbon footprint.
Yes, I mean, I think the other thing is that I'm hoping at some point we will be able to produce cars with zero carbon footprint, because the actual energy that goes into making them will have zero carbon footprint itself. So you'll get to a point where you get rid of that initial carbon footprint from a car. But yes, I think a lot of people are always worried about change. They don't like change. They try and profess it. I have a lot of these conversations with my brother-in-law, normally over lunch, which is about sort of why things, what the car part, surely it has a bigger impact, or you can never get it charged, or what am I would never buy one because. And you do have a lot of those conversations, but the answer to that is to continue to look at the data and provide information and carry on the conversation, which is why I've always believed that consumers are so important, because they become part of the conversation and they have that conversation with everybody else. And so the more people you can get involved, the more you can win the argument and the emotional argument as well.